What's up, YouTube? How you all doing today? Figure I pull out my Gibson Les Paul. This is one of my old babies. It's a 1989 Les Paul. Headstock was broke on me years ago. Had it repaired. Great guitar, man. Love this guitar. Haven't played it in a while, honestly. So cool. Do a little funk fusion. That's what I'm gonna move for. everybody. How's it going? Everybody good? Playing my Les Paul today. Needs a cleaning. It's a little dirty. Haven't played it in a couple of years, man, but sounds great. It's got tone. It's got tone. Yeah, the SG is my favorite guitar of all time. I've always said that, man. I'm a huge Gibson SG fan. It's always been my favorite. And any guitar that's shaped like an SG, I'm very comfortable on. So, and a Les Paul. Like my signature Washburn is obviously a Les Paul shape. I'm very comfortable on that. So, I'm gonna keep jamming. Let's keep moving. What are you guys all up to? What's going on out there? What up? Ryomi 613. Glad you're on too, man. Glad you got to check the stream. I'm back. I plan on being on here a lot more often, guys. Especially for the month of October. I'll be doing a lot of live feeds, alright? So I'll be actually putting up a schedule of all my live feeds so you guys can follow me. You'll know when I'll be live. Let's keep it funky. Give me a minute. What are you guys doing? Any questions out there? I'm here to answer. Hit me up. Hit me up. Here we go. What are you guys all doing? That's right. Hey, Frank, how are you, man? This is, actually, you know what's weird, man? I got a Seymour Duncan. I don't normally use Seymour Duncans, but this is one of my old guitars. And I remember I had put a Seymour Duncan in here, like in, I think, 98, 99. And it always sounded good, so I never changed it. You know, because I am with EMG, and I love EMG pickups. But ever since I put the Seymour Duncan in, man, it's a passive pickup. I never felt the need to change, you know. Nah, man, the Mars guitar needs more work. Out my solo games real soon. One of those in the world. I got it. I designed that guitar. echoes or hear the horns, eventually I'll have to use the whammy pedal again. But when I'm here at home just jamming, I don't really hook up pedals. I'm just going right through the hand. It just makes it easy. When I'm sitting down, it's a long pedal. It's not really with Soulfly, I always use a lot more effects. That's always kind of the sound of the band, you know? Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, yeah, just doing some jamming for you guys. Actually, I'm playing this Sunday. Check my schedule out. I'm doing a special jazz gig where I'm just going to play stuff like I'm playing today at a nice hotel in Montclair, New Jersey. Yeah, man, Joe Nunez is one of my favorite drummers, man. I've always said that Joe Nunez was a great drummer, and listen, he had a major part in songwriting also with Soulfly. You know, when Joe and I together joined Soulfly on Prophecy and especially Dark Ages, you know, a lot of these thrash ideas, that's where it started, was between Joe and me in the studio jamming old school Slayer and all types of stuff. Um, and that's where, you know, the whole idea of getting Max back to that thrash sound, he had a major part of that, you know, that's just a fact. And then obviously when Dave Kincaid came into the band, and we even went even further with the Enslaved record, which is such a thrashy death metal record. But those records of Joe are some of my favorites also. You know, I think one Soulfly record that really, I don't think got the credit it deserved was the Omen record. You know, and I know why, there's reasons why people maybe didn't like it, but if you listen to that record musically, man, it's got some of my favorite riffs I came up with, some of my favorite solos. Joe kind of kept it a little bit more groove, I remember, which I thought was cool. I remember he was very rushed to make that record. They gave him like 2 or 3 days to do his drums on that record and then flying home. And I remember he was very upset about that. Whereas, you know, the kid in Zion gets 3 weeks to, you know, polish his drums in the studio. But Nunez would get like 2 or 3 days because he was that good of a drummer, and everybody knew he could knock it out that fast, even though he didn't want to knock it out in 2 or 3 days. No drummer would, trust me. But Joe did a great job, and I remember that record, he was very rushed. They were really pushing him to get his tracks done fast and send him home, so it wouldn't cost more money to keep him in the studio and a hotel. And it made him play very just simplistic and more groove oriented, which I thought was very cool. That record's very groovy, very simplistic drumming, but great timing. His timing was always great. And then it's got some of my favorite riffs. You know, I always said, man, the Omen record was always one of my favorite Soulfly records. I think it kind of flew under the radar because we had just made the first Cavalier Conspiracy record, and that was such a great record. And Omen kind of was similar to Inflicted. I don't think that's a bad thing, though. I mean, Inflicted, I always say, was one of my favorite records to ever make. And so anyway, that record was incredible, you know. Joe's doing great. From last I heard, you know, he's got a great job, and he's doing really good for himself. And he's got his project Return Fire, which I did some guest solos on that record. So check it out. I don't know if it's finished yet. I think there's a couple songs on YouTube, but it showcases Joe and me back together again in the studio, because I think Joe and me made a great writing team, and we had a very similar tastes in music, you know, and style. And also that Omen record, so it was similar to Inflicted, which again, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's cool that we took Soulfly even more thrashy. Well, hey, bro, listen, I always say Andreas was a huge influence on me. A huge influence. He was always my favorite part of Sepultura, was his riffs and his solos. That's what attracted me to Sepultura, was his excellent guitar playing. Just like Testament, Alex Skolnick, that's what attracted me to Testament, you know. I love virtuoso shredders, you know. But the Omen record, back to that, you know, I think it might have gone over people's heads because if you listen to Max's lyrics, I don't know, man. I don't think he put a lot of effort into that record. It was a lot of just repeating the same lines over and over, very minimalistic, minimum lyrics. You know, he didn't really. I don't think he put a lot of effort into it for whatever reason. And I think that's really what people don't like about that record, is the repetitive lyrics, the minimum lyrics. You could tell he didn't put any thought into the lyrics for whatever reason. I don't know what was going on with him at that time. But I know I put a lot of time into the music, man. I busted my ass on that Omen record. That was another one of those records. First guy to the studio, last one to leave. And I worked very, very hard on making that Omen record a thrash masterpiece. It's got some of my best solos on it. Some of my favorite solos I ever did was on the Omen record. So give it another chance, you know. For those that didn't like the Omen record when it first came out, I suggest you give it another chance. But more importantly, check out Revenge Beast. Because I'm telling you, man, my new project, Revenge Beast, is going to blow you guys away. That shit is super, super heavy. And my new singer, Jay, dude, his lyrics are, I'm not really a lyricist kind of guy. I really care less what people are talking about in lyrics. But this guy writes very thoughtful lyrics. He puts a lot of effort into his lyrics. And his vocals are super heavy and strong. got a great energy to what he does, and it's got some of my best guitar playing too. You know, all the guys in the band. Brendan on bass is super talented. Doug on drums. We just put up a YouTube channel, so get over there and subscribe to the Revenge Beast channel, because we're gonna rock you guys, I promise, man. And then Hail the Horns, man. You know, November we're gonna debut Hail the Horns and get out there. And you know, it's more of a fun cover band, but we will do some originals very soon with Hail the Horns, so look out for that. Anything else you guys want to know? I thought we were talking about 3 earlier. Three? What's 3? The Soulfly record 3? Nah, I didn't play on that record. You know what's funny? A lot of people never liked Soulfly 3. I actually like that record a lot, because to me that was, they kind of started to get back to more riffing and not so much nu metal guitar licks. There's still a lot of nu metal jams on that record, but honestly, I never liked Soulfly 1. I never liked Primitive. I appreciated it. I appreciated the experimentation that went on in those records, but I never really was a fan. The guitar playing just never did anything for me. But I feel like Soulfly 3, actually, like, the riffs got tighter. I don't remember who produced it, but whoever produced it, I think, must have really, like, you know, busted balls to get everybody in tune. And I think Mikey did a great job on 3. He did some really cool, memorable solos. Roy did excellent drums on it. I always loved Roy as a drummer. He's one of my favorite drummers of all time, you know. I wish I could have recorded with him. Yeah, Revenge Beast is very much in tune with Cannibal Corpse and D-Side. That's definitely, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. Yeah, Boris, Mars Ending. I'm gonna do it, man. That's got my touch all over it, you know. Yeah, man. You know, some of you guys love those first early Soulfly records. Listen, man, I never was a big nu metal fan, even though I was in like El Nino and stuff. You know, the whole nu metal thing kind of went over my head. There are bands that I appreciate a lot. Like I like Stain. I love Slipknot. You know, Slipknot is great. There was a band called Dry Kill Logic back in the day. I used to love those guys. They were a great band that was kind of coming from that nu metal era, but had great riffs. You know, there was good nu metal, there was bad nu metal. But for the majority of it, I was never really into the nu metal thing. And when I joined Soulfly, I think it was obvious that I was trying to get it back to a thrashy sound, solos, technical riffs. You know, still have the groove, but get back to that tight riffing. You know, that's what I always loved. You know. Hey man, thanks dude. Dark Ages was a great record, man. You know, that was, again, that's a record that Joe Nunez and we had a major part in the writing process and in the vibe of turning that record into more of a thrashy style record, you know, with songs like Frontlines, Arise Again, Fuel the Hate, you know. It was a great record, man. You know, around that time I did my record Colossal Myopia. You can hear the similarities in the thrash riffs and the riffing. So you know, check out my record Colossal Myopia if you haven't yet, because it came out the same year as Dark Ages, 2005. I had 2 records that came out that year. What do you think about Faith No More? Yeah, great band, dude. I you know, when Faith No More first came out, I really liked the first record because I really liked that dude Jim Martin that played guitar. He was a great guitar player. He was a thrash, shredding riff machine. I mean, I heard he played with Cliff Burton years ago. I think he actually auditioned for Metallica before Kirk Hammett, I think. He was from the San Fran area. And man, Jim Martin was incredible. So when they got rid of him, when he quit or whatever happened, I just kind of lost interest in Faith No More. It just didn't have that great guitar playing that I loved about that first record. Like with that song Surprise You're Dead. That's some of the craziest thrash metal riffing ever, man. You know, I wish Faith No More would have put out a whole record of nothing but thrash metal. That would have been great, you know. Ritual. You know, Ritual was cool. Not one of my favorites, but yes, I do like Ritual. I enjoyed making that record, and it was cool. I don't think it can compete with Enslaved or even like Cavalier Conspiracy Inflicted. You know, I mean, to me those were the pinnacles. Those were, a lot of work went into them. But yes, and Ritual was a great record. There's a lot of things I did on guitar that I do like a lot. For whatever reason, you know, when Ritual came out, I don't know. I think that's when like Max and Zion were really kind of trying to like do all the writing. For me, it was more just my leads and a lot of I like to call them not lead riffs, but riffs that are super technical that I added to that record. But yeah, it's a good record. There's no doubt about it. You know, the song "Ritual" I think is a great song. I think, you know, the cool thing of "Ritual" was it kind of got back to some more of that groovy nu metal element that a lot of the fans were missing, maybe because maybe we got a little bit too thrashy on Enslaved or Conquer. You know what I mean? I know there is those fans that would love to hear the first two Soulfly records, and I think on Ritual there are some songs like Ritual that have that vibe. So for those of you that like that, you know, that's a record for you. What up? Jatub. Yeah, I love Poland, man. Poland was always one of my favorite countries to go to in Europe. I love the food. Yes, that's right, Duff. I did have a lot to do with Conquer. Songs like My Path, Fall the Sycophants. I mean, these are songs that I had a major part of. You know, that's some of the thrashiest shit was on Conquer, I think. You know, with My Path, with Fall the Sycophants. I love that record, you know. Actually, we were coming off of the Inflicted record, and I really wanted to top my guitar playing. And there's a lot of songs and riffs on Conquer that were super thrashy and great. There was also some drama that went down in the studio, and I kind of got, you know, the axe dropped on me. I would have liked it to have been more thrashy. It could have been a better record, but it is what it is, man. You know, I think the following year we made Omen, and I think Omen, again, I really like Omen a lot. Omen is one of my favorites. Poland, I love Poland, man. You know, when I finally get back to Europe with Soulfly, I mean with my solo project, I would love to come to Poland. Yo, what up in Russia, bro? My favorite groove metal album. I don't know, man. There's so many, you know. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna mention a band and a record that maybe some of you never heard of, but was one of my favorite bands from this area, New York, New Jersey, which is Marauder, and I'm gonna say Marauder Master Killer. That's got some of the most groovy, heaviest riffs, excellent guitar playing. They're one of my favorite bands of all time, and I'm actually gonna be working with them, with Jorge, the singer. He used to sing in El Reno back in the day, and we're gonna probably do some writing together soon for the. I hope I can be part of the new Marauder record because they were a big influence on me growing up. Archangel, yeah, you know, man, Archangel. Wow, yeah, I'm really not a fan of that record. I really liked the dude that produced it. He was a really awesome dude to work with. I just didn't really dig it, man. I don't know, that record kind of went over my head. Yeah, I don't know why. It just really, it didn't do anything for me, that record. I think out of all the Soulfly records, Archangel is the one that I don't really listen to, ever. Sorry. Yeah, man, I always do Hendrix, man. I do a lot of Hendrix, dude. Wow, you like that record, Nacho? Well, hey, if you like it, that's cool, man. Everyone's got their opinion. There was things that went on during the making of Archangel that were just a bad vibe for me. Some stuff I don't really want to talk about, but yeah, it just didn't do anything for me, that record. Sorry. Yeah, that record just kind of went over my head, check out my solo records, guys, because those records I'm very proud of. Every one of them I love. It's got some of my favorite riffs, my favorite leads. Yes, there's no vocals on them, but I feel like they're just as catchy, melodic, and memorable as anything I've done with any of my other bands, you know. So go give them a chance. Listen to them. Vibe with it. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to go over to Twitch, do a live feed there. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, I'm going to do that in about 10-15 minutes. So get over to my Twitch page, man, and we'll continue this great talk. This Les Paul weighs a ton, man. I'm going to get one of my lighter guitars. I haven't played this in a long time. I forgot how heavy it is, man. So, all right, man. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for the questions and the feedback. I appreciate it, man. Peace.